Hi everybody, I am just getting over a pretty bad cold. My dog is barking out there. And I wanted to show you some face yoga and specifically acupuncture or acupressure points that will help with congestion. And you can use this when you have a cold, when you have allergies, or anytime if you just are one of those people that gets really stuffy. So thank you for joining me. And I just want to go ahead and get started right away. So you can probably hear I'm pretty congested still. I've had this cold for, I think this is day 12 now. And these things help. I have been pretty sick. It's not like enough, it hasn't been enough. I've still needed to take cold medicine, but on normal circumstances or when I have allergies, these are really helpful, and it has helped relieve pain and pressure. So the first thing, you just need clean hands, and I'm just going to use my fingers. If you do facial reflexology, you can use a little tool, and it would be a little bit different. You'd be circling like this, but I'm just going to use my fingers, and I'm going to take my fingers right to the inner corners of my eyes, right against the bridge of my nose, and I'm starting out light, and I'm just going to press in. I'm using my own intuition to figure out how hard to press here. So you never want to press so hard that you're going to create a bruise. That's just not necessary. And I'm going to press in, close my eyes, and I'm going to breathe as though I'm breathing right into that place where my hands or where my fingers are touching. So I might keep my eyes open just to see if there's any comments or anything, but you can close your eyes and relax, breathe into this space. And in general, I'm going to hold for 20 seconds. Not always easy to count when I'm talking at the same time, but when you're doing this on your own, you can hold for 20 seconds. And then without really moving my fingers away, I'm just going to start to circle a little bit here. A little circle, and I'm going to do that 20 times. And then I'm going to circle the other way. And release. And then I'm going to go down to about the middle of the bridge of my nose. This is a really good point here, like especially for me now. I have a lot of congestion right here, and it's on either side of my nose. And for a lot of us, there's almost a perfect little flat space here to put our fingers. So again, start out light, going a little bit deeper. Just use your own intuition about that. We're not trying to hurt ourselves or go so hard that we're pushing our head back. It's a medium type of pressure. So you want to go ahead, close your eyes, breathe right into your fingertips. And this helps to relieve and break up some of that congestion. It's also very good for flushing the cheeks, getting circulation. It's helpful for the eyes as well. And again, I'm going to hold for about 20 seconds more or less. And thank you all for joining me. It's not fun to be alone on an Instagram Live. I really appreciate your being here. And then I'm just going to start that circling. So I'm keeping my fingers in contact with my skin and just sort of a little gentle circle here. And I'm going to go 20 times. And then I'm going to go the other way. Hi, Isabel. And then from here, I'm just gonna go straight out, and right under the pupils is a point for lungs. So this is kind of good if you're coughing, if you have asthma, your energy in your lungs is a little bit low or deficient. And same thing, press in. I'm gonna be a little more gentle here because I can feel that more, and I'm actually a little tender on this side. I have been coughing a lot. And when you find those tender points when you're doing acupressure, that means that's a place you really need a little work, that there's an energy block there. So it's good to go back and revisit those tender points. And when they become less tender to your touch, there's also more balance in your body. So in this case, there would be more balance in my lungs when I don't feel that so much. So after holding and breathing, hi everybody, I'm gonna circle here. Yeah, whoo, really tender on my left side. I hope you guys are staying healthy. I know there's just a really nasty cold going around Portland, and the coughs are lingering. And then I'm gonna circle the other way. And I usually do these sort of immune strengthening things every day. And it's so funny because I don't know, I've been busy and distracted the last couple of months, and I kind of stopped doing it, and then I got sick. So I think it helps a bit. So that's one of the lung points, and then I'm gonna go up just a little bit higher. So it's pretty much right on that bone there, that orbital bone. And I need to be a little more delicate here. So this is another lung point. So I'm just gonna press in, breathe. And I really, like, face yoga is not just about trying to look better. There's a lot of things you can do to affect your health and any underlying conditions. I'm really into facial reflexology. I actually started doing that before I got into face yoga. And I have like fixed pain in my wrist and all kinds of crazy things with that. I've been a fan of reflexology for 30 years probably, and mostly with foot reflexology. I've used it on a lot of my yoga therapy clients when I was practicing more regularly. And I'm gonna circle. So facial reflexology is very similar, but it's easy to access your face, even easier than your foot. And I'm going to circle the other way. Hello. So, okay, so I see a question about tightening the neck, and I have one more of these congestion points to do, and then we'll do a little bit on that. And I'm going to release, and then the last one's right at the bottom of the nose next to the nostrils. I'm going to press in there. Breathe. So this will be on my feed, so you can do this practice yourself later if you're not able to do it right now. And I'm going to circle. And change direction. That probably wasn't 20, but when you're doing it at home, just do it 20 times. And release. And another thing I just want to finish with for immune system is 2 fingers in front of the ears. I'm going up and down. Light to light medium pressure, just up and down here, and then at the bottom of the ear horizontally back and forth. And release. And I do already feel some relief from that, from pressing those points. So somebody asked about tightening the neck, and there's lots of things to do. The most important thing to do for necklines is to have good posture. And you may notice in the last few years, I think a lot of people are complaining more about necklines, myself included, because we're on our phones a lot and my head is down like this. So if you can see, the minute I bend my head down like this, you get all these rings and lines in your neck. So try to keep a good posture at all times. Keep those shoulders down. Keep the neck muscles relaxed. So do some stretching, a little bit of stretching every day. Everybody can benefit from these kinds of gentle little stretches. And massaging the neck, just keeping those muscles supple instead of tight. When they're really tight, they'd start to pull downward on your face. And one thing that I like, and it affects the jowls also and the lower face, is smile as big as you can, stick out your tongue, and you can place your hands on your chest as well and just very lightly pull down. I'm going to lift my chin just a bit, stick out my tongue like I want to touch my nose, and hold and breathe. I'm trying to hold for a minute, but if you're just starting, it can be difficult and you might need to let it go and give yourself a break. You can build up to it. So we're just going to breathe and hold. So if you're doing it with me, keep doing it. I just want to talk that really lifts this area under here where you can get a double chin. It's toning and tightening the front of the throat, the platysma. It's tightening the jowls and the whole jawline. And then sometimes I like to mix it up, do things a little bit different. I would do the same thing, but pulse the tongue. So it's like you're trying to lift it up. So try that. You can do that for 1 minute every day. You really don't have to do it for more than a minute. And it can really help with the neck, the jawline, even the mouth. So it's different, many. Yeah, it is. I like when you get a lot of bang for your buck for one exercise. Another of my favorite exercises where it affects a lot of muscles is wrap your lips around the teeth, smile as big as you can, and then go back to the O. And there's a lot of different ways to do this and add on and make it a little different, but just to keep it simple, I like to keep my hands here just to keep all this still so that I'm not creating any lines while I do it. And you can really feel that. That's lifting the cheeks. That's smoothing out the area around the marionette lines, nasolabial folds. Also getting the jaw and the neck. And then let's hold a little bit longer. And release. You can relax your mouth, just making a face, or I like horse lips. And then that reminds me, a good one for lips. I do have lipstick on. Hope I don't make too much of a mess. And for your mouth, to relax the mouth, because the mouth is a round muscle, gets very tight. And if you just have 2 fingers on the upper lip, above your upper lip, and your thumbs below, squeeze, and then just massage outward. All of these look really funny. And you might notice in the corners of your mouth, it feels like a little ball of tissue there. Some people have it, some people don't, and sometimes you'll have it and sometimes you don't. That's just a lot of, it's almost like a knot when you get a knot in your muscle. And you can massage that out. Just keep working on it, massaging it. It's hard to do it while talking. And it will smooth out and go away eventually. And then you'll have a much more relaxed mouth here. And I want to show you another one. This is an acupressure point that is just really good for your skin in general and for your health in general. It affects the liver and the spleen. And a lot of in Chinese medicine, they think wrinkles are often caused by deficiencies in the lung and the spleen. So I already gave you those long points earlier. The spleen is on the left side. So if I'm backwards, it's the spleen's on the left, the liver's on the right. So I'm going to say the corners of my mouth out to in line with the pupils, but up to the cheekbones. So I'm going up and under the cheekbones and press in. So this will just tell your brain to send a little energy to the liver and spleen to balance out any deficiencies or whatever's out of balance there. And deficient spleen is known for wrinkles, especially in the lower face, and a sort of dragged down, tired look. So we want to keep our spleens happy. And same thing with all the acupressure points, just think about holding 20 seconds and then 20 little circles and then circling the other way. And there's different ways to do this. Some people do things differently. This is just kind of the way I like to do it. If you were doing more of a reflexology there, you would circle. It's a little less pressure because it's a harder instrument that you would be pressing into that area. So it's left a little imprint there. Any other questions? I have a little bit more time. And I do want to say I have a face yoga class, a Zoom class coming up on the 24th. And it's $22, 75 minutes, a lot of fun. I've been doing this once a month and they've been working out really nicely. And then you get a recording that you can use for 10 days afterwards. And if you can't make it on the 24th, you can, just do the recording at your leisure. Blue lines under eyes. I'm not sure if you are asking about dark circles. Doing things to move lymph is always helpful for that. So there's always tapping. You can tap in a little circle. You can tap with all your fingers. You can take 3 fingers there and just very lightly wiggle. Okay. And that helps to move out lymph. Some of the eye exercises will help squeeze it out a little more. Like you can have your index fingers above, kind of at the end of your brow, and your thumb right on this place where we get our smile lines. And squint. And you should feel a little pulsation here and here where your fingers are. Another way to do that is with a V. People have different hand and wrist abilities, so there's always a way to make it work. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's nice to see you here. And then another way to do a similar thing is this type of exercise. So between the brows, into the brows, my fingers are clamped down onto my face to hold everything still and create resistance. And then I'm squeezing, so I'm squinting, and I'm trying to use more effort to get the lower lids toward the upper lids. So we're just doing these things really quickly. When I do a class, I spend more time explaining and making sure everybody is getting what I'm talking about. So these things kind of will squeeze the fluid and move it. And then you can guide it out to the side of your face. Just brushing lightly. I don't have any oil on my face, so there's a little bit of a drag here. You can also make more of a hook with your finger and do it this way. And then once you have done that several times, guide it down the side of your face, down the side of your neck to drain. You're welcome, Patty. And then you can lightly pulse at the collarbones, maybe brush these lymph glands on the that are closer to your shoulder or armpit, and just let all that stuff drain down. All right, anything else? I have just a couple more minutes here. And I know somebody's asking to join me live, but I'm not going to do that today. But if I, get to know you and know what you want to talk about, I'll consider that. Then you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, well, I hope you all stay healthy, and I hope this is useful to you. And one reason I really want to do this is because I want women to know there are options. Not everybody can afford or wants to do the expensive things that you do in clinic or in surgery, and you don't have to. We can feel good about ourselves as we age without going broke. And I kind of find that a lot of times when people do those things, they get more dissatisfied with their appearance. I want to say, like, oh no, I have another line, I have to do something about it. And there's just something about face yoga that helps you to be more accepting. You're doing what you can do, and you feel good about yourself. It also makes you feel good inside because it affects your emotions and your mind. And I just think it's a wonderful, beautiful thing to just do what you can, but without feeling like you're not good enough or you have to totally change your face or do something really drastic. I just want people to know there's an option if you're not into those things. And it's pretty cheap. It's pretty easy. You can do it at home with your own hands. And if you have disabilities or limitations, there's always a workaround. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm pretty good about answering comments on Instagram. And if you want to join me on the 24th, I'd love to see you in my class. And I hope you all have a good day and stay healthy out there. There's a lot of germs going around. All right, bye-bye.